If you've ever done DoorDash to like make ends meet, not for extra pocket money or whatever, like you know what the trenches look like, and so do I. I was DoorDash's greatest warrior at one point, strongest warrior, like maybe 1,000 deliveries or something like that. And that's the thing, nobody wants to be doing it. Nobody wants to wake up and say, I gotta deliver food for the people. They do it because they have to for some reason, or they just want extra pocket money or something like that. So respect to you if you're still on that DoorDash to make a living thing. I hope you achieve whatever goals you want to achieve, and I hope you get there quick. But this video is not should you DoorDash or not. This is more like what lessons did I learn from driving DoorDash, and how did it actually help me achieve success in other ways, like in my business, personal life, finance, whatever. And it honestly did, because it made me solidify and think about things in such an easy to digest way that hopefully you guys will understand too at the end of this video. First lesson, not even the first, this is just a preamble. Every job has value. Don't think any job is like below you in a certain sense. It doesn't mean every job is worth doing, worth your time, you should stick to it. It just means every job has something you can learn from it. Be it a janitor, be it a delivery worker, postal employee, floor worker at like a grocery store. You can learn things from those jobs that you can apply elsewhere, right? I used to work at a movie theater. And honestly, learning good guest service and things like that really helps you in sales and business and things like that. So it definitely wasn't a null point. I learned something valuable from that. So DoorDash, whatever it is, take what you can. What you need to always ask yourself is, are you learning or are you earning? If you're learning something, that's great that you can transfer to other jobs. Amazing. It's worth it then. If you're not learning, you had better be earning enough to make it worth going to work. Preferably, you want a job that does both. You're learning a lot and valuable things. You're earning a good amount of money. Make sure you're doing at least one of the two things. If you're not learning anything valuable and you're not earning enough money to make it worth it, you should like expeditiously try and find a new job as fast as possible. Lesson 2, or the real lesson 1 about what DoorDash taught me about money. Opportunity cost. DoorDash makes it so easy to understand such things. Let's say you get an offer on your phone. 15 kilometers, $6. Almost no one is going to do that, right? That's going to cost you $1.50 in fuel. It's going to cost you $1 in wear on your car. It's going to take 15 minutes of your time or 20 minutes to drive back somewhere. You essentially end up making $4 for 20 minutes of your time. And that's like less than minimum wage. That's like $12 an hour. Obviously, your mind, you can do the calculus and understand that's simply not worth it. But this applies to so much more than just that. Where does opportunity cost actually come in? Sorry. Let's say you said no to that and you didn't get an order for like 5 minutes. Then another one came up. 8 kilometers, $14. Wow. It's less driving time, less fuel, less wear on my car. I'll finish the order faster and I'll make more money. The opportunity cost of you saying yes to that first order is saying no to that second one. You would have lost money and time. The opportunity cost of saying no to the first order was getting the second order. It's obvious what the better choice is. Sometimes it's not so obvious. Opportunity cost appears every single place in life. Whenever you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. This is such an important idea because you have to make informed decisions. By the way, I don't think university is a bad thing. I think it's actually very valuable. I'll talk about it later. If you choose to go to university, what are you giving up? You're giving up 4 years of full-time wages. At minimum to minimum wage, that's probably like $80,000 cash in hand that you're giving up. You might have to pay tuition for university. Let's say at minimum $20,000 cash out of pocket. So you're already at $100,000 opportunity cost for going to university. Now, the answer isn't, okay, I'm not going to university. That $100,000 isn't worth it. It's, should I do it? That you have to ask the question in an informed way. Is this worth $100,000? Then you can make a decision. And I think if you spend your time right, do the right things, mingle with the right people, it's absolutely worth it. But you have to at least know what you're giving up before you make that decision. That applies everywhere. I want you guys to stop thinking everything is binary, like either yes or no. Every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. Every time you say no to something, you're saying yes to something else. If you're saying yes to an extra shift at your job, you're saying no to spending that time working on your business. Maybe you have to work on your job, that's totally fine, but know the decision that you're making. If you're choosing not to go to the gym and being a fat chud, then, well, that opportunity cost is so obvious, right? But a lot of times it's not obvious. Think, when I say yes to something, what am I also saying no to? That's opportunity cost. The next important lesson: your wage is not your pay. Again, DoorDash makes this so obvious. It shows you on the screen your online time and your active time or something like that. Sometimes you will literally have like 8 hours online and only 4 or 5 hours active. That means you were literally doing nothing for 3-4 hours. Like, you were just waiting for an order to come in. But you still sat in that car or were ready to work in that time that you didn't get paid for. And that's like, that could bring down your like hourly rate from like $25 an hour to $12 an hour real quick. That idea of your pay not be your wage not being your pay. How does this apply in the real world? Because obviously actual non-contract jobs have to pay you for every second you're working. It still 100% applies. Let's say you work a normal shift, 8 hours, right? At $20 an hour. So that's $160. Not really. You take a half-hour break, $150 is the amount of cash you'll get in your hand. Also not really CPP, EI, taxes, whatever, but keep it an easy number, $150 you get for the day for 8 hours. No, you have to wake up an hour earlier. You have to commute 90 minutes round trip, let's say. You get home and you have to decompress for an hour. Then you have to go to sleep an hour earlier to make sure you're up the next day for work. Your 8-hour shift, which paid you for 7.5 hours, is actually taking up like 12 hours of your day. 12 hours of your day, or more perhaps. Now you're not earning $20 an hour. Do the math, you're probably earning $11 or $12 an hour. Now you have to think, I just gave up my whole day for $11, $12 an hour. Is my life worth $11, $12 an hour? That's something you don't think about. You think it's just the cost of doing business. The bus, the gas, the parking. Add everything together. How much is your actual hourly rate? Your job only pays you for the 7.5 hours you're there. The hours before, the hours after, where you still are doing things because of your job, you are not getting paid for. That is the idea of your wage not being your pay. So what I want you to do is actually like properly calculate what your hourly rate is, what your pay is, so you can make the informed decision on if it's worth it or not. If you think you're making $20 an hour, maybe that sounds good to you. Once you do all the calculations, okay, I spend $5 on parking, $3 on fuel, $10 on lunch every day. Oh, I'm making $10.70 an hour. No way. I need to figure something out. Think about that. Your wage is never your pay. What's left for you is always significantly lower than what you think it is. Think about that. Very important. The last thing I want to talk about is scale. Do things that can scale. If you're a DoorDash driver, you can maybe do 5 deliveries in an hour, 6 if you're like in a dense downtown place on a bike. Let's say you're really lucky and each one pays $10 per order. You can only make $50 an hour before expenses. That's the absolute max you could possibly make outside of a unicorn event, right? Same thing with a job. You can only work 8, 10, 12 hours a day, unless your job like doesn't have insurance or something and you can work like 18, 20 hours. Still, everything is capped. You can only earn that much. You have to think about ways to uncap. Now I'm going to move away from DoorDash and talk about my tutoring. So I used to work at a tutoring company. That tutoring company, when I started, paid me $20 an hour, right? So I'd make around $160, $150 in a day for working at the tutoring company. Then I thought, okay, I will get my own students. I'll get 5 students of my own, charge them $20 an hour, right? Now how much am I making? I'm making like $100 an hour or more for that. Now let me hire some people. I'll hire those people, do 5 students myself. Now I'm making $400 an hour or maybe $300 or something after paying everybody out. Now you see how skill comes to play. Your time is limited. You only have 8 working hours, 10, 12 working hours. Whatever it is, it's limited. It's finite. How can you use your abilities, skill, resources to gain leverage, right? If you're good at marketing, that's leverage. You can get more students than you can handle and pay other people to deal with them. If your leverage is space, you can have a ton of students in there at once and make more money at the same time. Think about doing things that scale. Your job will probably not scale unless it's sales or commission. Even that is tied to how much time you can put into getting leads. Do things that scale and take it another step. Now, let's say I sell a $50 product online, like a textbook or something like that. So I sell that $50 product, maybe 5 of them a day, $250 a day. Now my hourly rate is pretty much infinite. Like, you can't even calculate it. Do things that scale. Your DoorDash job cannot scale. Your regular job cannot scale. And I'm not saying you have to quit your job. Obviously not. Think about ways you can make your resources work for you. If you are really good with cars or you love cars, rent out a garage for a few $100s a month, pay an assistant, and you can just do oil changes, tire rotations. Do that day in, day out. You have that assistant and your space as leverage. Think about ways that you can increase how much you can actually output. That's the main idea. DoorDash shows you very clearly, okay, I can really only do 5 deliveries an hour. I can really only make $50 an hour. Do things where it's tied to however much you can output yourself. I can teach up to 5 students myself. My building, my office, can hold up to 20 students. So I can hire 3 people and get the money for that, right? That's the idea of scale. So to summarize what DoorDash taught me about business life, how DoorDash made me rich. I don't know if I made that the thumbnail. I hope not. First, try and learn everything you can from a job. Learn, earn, or quit. Second, opportunity cost. Whenever you're saying yes to something, you're saying no to something else. Make sure that decision was well thought out before you make the decision. Next, your wage is not your pay. Think about all the time, resources, money you have to spend just to go to your job and do the tasks at hand. You are losing money on that. Your job is not paying you for that. Last, scale. Do things that can actually grow beyond yourself. Think of something that can actually work without you directly inputting hours. How can I leverage whatever I have to bring in money while I'm not actively on the job? All right. Thanks for watching, guys.